Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today we're talking Love is Blind. You guys, I just watched the first episode and I gotta be honest, I wasn't sure how I'd feel and I'm just giddy. I'm excited to talk about this show with you because holy crap, it sucks you right in on the first episode. So I can't wait to talk about it. We're gonna go over that. I wanted to tell you a couple things I'm about to get into. Of course, I've been covering Mannequin. I'm working on Sex and the City. I'm about to do Devil Wears Prada by popular request. I got all kinds of movies coming out is where I'm going with that. I'm working on Love is Blind. I got that, what's it called? That heiress show coming on Netflix where I'm going to talk about Anna, the German heiress. I'm very excited about that. I got so much coming out, so stay tuned. But first, check out my merch, link below. I got Midnight Toast, Justice for Steve. It's a load of pants. Or find me on Patreon. It's patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps. Okay, so I'm going to start this off by saying there are like 45 people in this episode, being the first episode. I'm never going to get anybody's name right. I have a few written down because there were some standouts. So just know I'm trying my best. I have notes. We'll see how this goes. Second, I am going to talk about, I have not watched ahead. I've only seen this one episode, and I'm going to talk about this episode from start to finish. If you haven't watched it, I'm going to tell you what, I really enjoyed the heck out of it. So if you want to go watch it, stop me now, go watch it, jump back in. We'll sit on the couch and talk to each other about it because I have a lot to say, and I want to hear what you have to say about it. I am curious if you watched it. If you have no interest and you just want to hear the silly stuff I say about it, well, then you're at the right place. Okay, let's get into this. Let's talk about it. So much to talk about here, right? I watched the first season and I automatically think about, well, YouTube doesn't like us to talk about it, but the pandy, I'll just say, the thing we're still going through now. That was like the first thing I think that everybody started binge watching when we were all stuck at home, right? It's the first thing I binge watched. We got a rowing machine, so I just kind of sat on it and rode and watched this show. So that's my memory of that. Honestly, the first season there were parts that were good. It wasn't my favorite show. That robot guy kind of freaked me out. What's his name? He ended up falling in love. Cameron, he kind of freaked me out a little bit. Amber was a mess. Like, I remember she had all this credit card debt. There's just a lot of stuff going on. But I was kind of excited to watch this one, and I still don't know if I'll love it, but I actually really liked this first episode. Photographing this show is tricky because there's only so many scenes of people talking to walls that they can show you. So if you pay attention to it, they're blurred, a lot of them, and they put like these dots, these glowy dots on the screen a lot. So you're going to see some weird pictures. It's just what it is. That's how they did it. I tried to photograph around it, but you know how that goes. So there's that. Okay, let's just start with initial thoughts. So this one, of course, episode 1, the pods are open. So this is the initial scene. Again, see the blur. They do a lot of stuff like this where it's like people walking, stock photography, beautiful woman, faces, all this stuff. We get a lot of voiceover action. You see somebody and then you don't see him again for the whole episode because there's so many people this go around that we're kind of introduced to, but then you just can't possibly keep up with all the stories. There's a couple that you do kind of get to know in this one, and then others you just kind of briefly like, oh, hey, and then you don't see him again. Now, my star of this show, she's right here. She's Danielle. I love her. You guys, I'm going to tell you my embarrassing secret. You ready? I cried in this episode. Yes, I'm a big old baby, and I cried. I was taking notes and I started crying because I'm a big old loser. But no, seriously, I did. I cried because I like her so much and I just wanted to find love. She had such an interesting story and she's so likable and I really do. I connected with her and I root for her and I love her. So, yeah, I'm a big old baby. Okay. Let's talk. I'm sorry, I'm jumping all around because that's kind of the chaos of this show, right? They just jump all around. Here's Natalie. She was another focus of this episode. Oh my God, you guys, this one. This is Trisha. Trisha is a lot. So she's the one that kept saying, if you watched it, a lot of guys like me. I don't know what voice I'm doing. And a lot of guys are so excited to talk to me. I'm not trying to sound conceited, but Oh, you guys are going after me. I mean, she's clearly the one. What was the one last season? God, I don't know her name. The one that kept drinking wine, like, that fell for Barnett, and then he picked somebody else, so she settled. Was it Jessica? Jessica was her name, I think. Yeah, this is our Jessica here. The one I don't think we're gonna like. Oh, you guys, I hope she ends up with that guy Shake. Shake is the one that was asking people their weight and their dress size. I hate that guy. Okay, we'll get into it. Okay, so we have voiceovers like, physical insecurities have affected my dating life. This allows me to be with somebody and fall in love without depending on the physical attraction. Waiting to find somebody who loves my personality, not what I look like. Things like that. Okay. So they're playing the music unconditionally very loudly. Here's my other confession. You ready? Don't hate me for this. I cannot stand Vanessa Lachey. I don't know why. I know she was Manila before. She goes by Lachey now. There's no specific reason. I just don't like her. You know those people you just don't like for no... I mean, you just can't put your finger on why. Olivia Munn is another one. I don't like her. I don't like Vanessa Lachey. I just don't. I don't like her. She's annoying. I think she seems like she's probably not very nice as soon as the cameras turn off, but she sure lays it on thick here. I don't even like the sleeves she's wearing. It makes me not like her more. That's my unreasonable thought of the day. Tell me who you don't like. There's got to be a celebrity where you just don't like them. And believe me, I don't like Nick Lachey either. I did maybe have a little thing for him when he was in, 98 Degrees back in the day. That's, my own issue to deal with. But, yeah, I just not a fan. I don't understand why they're necessary. I don't think the hosts really do anything for the show. The only thing that Vanessa added to this episode was, yeah, girl, when this one was talking about being judged for being Asian, that sort of thing. So, yeah, I don't know. I just not a fan. I am attracted to that gray-haired guy, by the way. I know I'm jumping around. I don't know anybody's names. There's a million people on this show. Nick Lachey had to do that thing where he said, obviously, I'm Nick Lachey, because he did that last season. He got a laugh, and yeah, they're bringing that back. Annoying sleeves. What? I mean, are you gonna fly? Are you gonna jump out of a plane and parachute with those? I don't understand what I'm looking at here. Is it to look so tiny? Is that what it is? Like, hey, I'm gonna wear giant sleeves so I look smaller. I don't know what that is. Okay. So we see the girls' quarters and the boys' quarters. So the idea is that they all meet up in their private pods, and they're separated by a wall. You don't get to see each other. You pick the person you want to spend the rest of your life with. You'll propose. Yeah, that's a thing. So this would be my face going into this thing, like, oh God, what is on the other side of this wall? Okay. So we see, is love truly blind? Again, Vanessa Lachey saying that. We meet a lot of people here. A lot of bouncing back and forth. We see, I don't know. They're saying this would be a funny story to say I met your dad in a social experiment where I was dating 13 other guys, We get to see, this was Giannina and Jared, I believe is his name, and she lives in Atlanta. He lives in Chicago, and we kind of get to know her a little bit. I liked her. She seemed smart and funny, and she seemed to have a connection with this guy. They kind of played up at the beginning, but then we don't really come back to this couple, so I'm curious to see where they go with this. I was kind of attracted to him. He's very good looking. He's very sweet. He has a very interesting story. He spent last year he was in the ICU for a week, and he was by himself, and he says he doesn't want to have to go through that again. So he's a healthcare consultant. So yeah, we'll see about them. Okay, so then we meet Mallory. Mallory's talking to Jared. Again, this part I'm just kind of breezing through because so many people, and we're going to see them all have a million connections a million times. Plus, it's more fun to talk about the bad ones. Mallory's cool. We'll see what the deal is there. She seems to like Jared. Jared seems to like her. And then she starts talking to Salvador. They're kind of using her to show, hey, look, you could bond with somebody, but then you start bonding with somebody else. Of course, they're all given notebooks. They try to take notes. It would be hard. It would be hard to tell who is who. The ones, I mean, there's some that, stick out and you kind of get to know pretty fast, like, oh, that's that guy, or oh, you recognize his voice, you can make notes, that sort of thing. We'll get into it. There's this one dum-dum that writes this girl's name on the front of his notebook because he's in high school, and yeah, that's the whole thing. Salvador, he is... okay, so they have a connection because he's saying he's Mexican. She's saying, oh, cool, my mom is Polish, my dad is Mexican. And so they kind of talk about their connection there. He's super laid back, and he likes Mallory's nice, sultry voice, according to him. So, cool. Then we meet Danielle. I have a soft spot. She's my favorite, Danielle. So we see a lot of her journey in this episode. This is her first time meeting Nick. Nick. I have some thoughts on Nick. I'm not over the moon for him like she is, but I am over the moon for her. I really like Danielle a lot. Okay. So Danielle has a fascinating story. They go into it later, but in a nutshell, she lost 70 pounds, and she's unfortunately dealt with some criticisms growing up about her weight and her size. And you guys, I cried when she told the story when she was like a 6th grader. She had a crush on a boy, and he told his friends that she was fat, and she cried, and it's affected her ever since. And I cried. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, I'm going to stop being a baby. Okay, let's go over to this asshat. You guys. Oh, and this one here. Good God. I wish she'd end up with, this is Trisha. I wish she would end up with Shayne. We don't really get to know Joey this much this episode, but Trisha, man, she is so full of herself. She's telling everybody to listen to her how many friends she has on social media, that she drives people around in her car. She can have like 20 people in her car at a time. That's what she says. This was my reaction during the whole thing. She just thinks she is the greatest of all times. Then we meet Shake. I hate Shake, just so you know. Shake is saying things like, I like to buy clothes for girls. What's your size? Do you like working out? The girl's like, no, not really. And he's like, I like girls who work out. And he asks another, how old are you? And she says, I'm 33. And he says, well, I prefer younger. And she says, how old are you? He's 32. Well, I mean, listen, you can like what you like, but do you have to be a dick about it? You know what show you're on, right? And you're going to come on here and you're going to say these things. So he meets this beautiful woman. I'm never going to say her name right. Deepti. And they're both from India. And he says that his serious relationships have been with blondes. She's super gracious about it. And you'd think that, she'd be like, okay, best of luck. But she sticks around. She tries to get to know him. He talks about being a house DJ. Says a lot about him. And he makes a joke about her sitting on his shoulders. Then he asks her, would I have trouble putting you up on my shoulders? She says that's superficial. And he's a dick. He's asking her, hey, are you overweight? Without asking her, hey, are you overweight? I mean, what prize are you? What do you have to offer anybody? Seriously, like, what a dick. So there's always going to be that guy, and he is that guy. Ugh. I hope he and that tangerine dress girl end up together. Okay, so a lot of people talking. Mallory says she felt like she learned more in 7 minutes than people she's dated for months. The guys are talking. They're super excited. Again, we haven't met a lot of these guys in this episode. So many women, so many men. We only get a handful of them. See, there's Jarrett. I'm attracted to Jarrett. He has such a nice smile. He was so nice. So this makes me laugh. A lot of scenes of people putting makeup on. And again, you don't see each other yet, so I don't quite understand that. I guess it's for the cameras. But they all get dressed to the nines and then sit behind a wall. I was thinking like, I'd probably do better in like jeans and a sweatshirt, I'd probably be a lot more fun if I'm like cozy, I was trying to think of what I'd wear on this thing. But okay, here's Shayne. We get a lot of Shayne. And you guys, if you have ever seen Southern Charm and you know Shep, Shayne is basically Shep. They have the same goofy smile. They have the same, oh gosh, goofy thing going for them. He's just, at first I thought I liked Shayne. He seemed to be, I thought he and Natalie had a thing going on, but later he becomes more of a dick, not into Shayne. Okay, so Shayne goes back and tells the guys, I like Natalie. I like her energy. They tell each other they're their number one. And then he gets to know Shayna, and they seem pretty perfect for each other, truthfully. They even think that it's cool that their names are alike. Oh, somebody tells Shayne he sounds like Beetlejuice, which kind of made me laugh because I love the movie Beetlejuice, and I don't even know why they said that, but it made me laugh. I don't know. It's just Shayne. Yeah, we'll get into Shayne. Okay, so Shayna, she says she doesn't want a 10 because other women will want your man. Okay. He says he likes compliments, so she lays on the compliments and says she'll be his hype man. They start to get into like flirty sexual territory, so of course he's going to like her. He was having deeper conversations with Natalie, but as soon as Shayna starts to amount all the sex she wants, he's like, bingo. So he starts to dig her. They say that they have fantastic conversation, and I say, what about? I didn't really see it. Okay, so Trisha is saying that she loves sex and that she does everything. So there's a montage of people talking about sex. Everybody's horned up. Great. They're talking behind walls. They pretty much want to just dry hump the wall. She's flirting with that Shook guy, and I think they belong to each other because, yeah, they're equally annoying. She's saying how everybody loves her, and this guy could not care less. So she's going to be the one that blames editing. I'm calling it now. You can just see it. She's saying all these crazy things, getting people's names wrong. I don't know if she's drunk or dumb or both, but you can just see she's like everybody on Real World. You know what I mean? Back in the day, that's who she reminds me of. This guy's not at all interested in her, which makes me laugh because she's telling him how interested everybody is in her, and it's just a lot. So again, we're getting these blurry, flashy things on the screen. That's why the pictures are looking like this. But it's Danielle and Nick, and we're starting to see a connection there. They talk about each of them have divorce, not themselves, but their parents. Both sets of parents are divorced, and they don't want that. And his parents were divorced when he was 5 years old. She talks about that story again that I burst into tears with about when they were kids. I can't even talk about it. But she's lost 70 pounds and she's trying to feel confident, but you can tell it's something she still struggles with, and people have been not nice to her about it. And he's struggled. He said that he was a little heavier when he was growing up. It was college that kind of shifted him. He still says he has a dad bod, and they say that they really like each other and that they want to give each other hugs. And you know what? I'm a sucker for romance, so I love her. There's something about him, if I can just say it, there's something about him. Maybe I thought he was gay. So I was actually surprised that he's going for a woman, but hey, cool. Okay. He likes girls. So good for him. They like each other. I don't know. To me, he's a little bit much. I think he'll be a little bit much when we get to know him more, but we'll see. But I love her, and I wish them the best if that's what they want. So, a lot going on here. So we do see a lot from Shayna. And she's kind of bonding with different people. She likes Kyle. He's a construction worker. He says he's been rejected before because he is a construction worker, and people judge him for that. We find out she was engaged before. They called it off like 40 days out from their wedding. So her top two candidates are Kyle, the construction worker, and Shayne. Shayne. Let's talk about Shayne. Everybody talks about Shayne. It's again, he even looks like Shep. It's that, oh gosh, over the top. She says she likes his sense of humor. He likes her because she compliments the hell out of him, and she kind of gets sexual with him. He's into that, obviously. And he says that they match energy, and he's excited. He says, let's go deep today. And they talk about, then he says, now tell me what you're wearing. I mean, okay, that's deep. She mentions crop top, and all he can think about is his boner after that. So, you guys, so there's Natalie. Okay. And I'm not sure. Natalie, I like. Natalie's a little intense, like right off the bat. She's a little intense, I think, with her personality, but we'll see. We find out his father passed away, so he's been struggling. That's awful. But then he tells her he wrote her name in a heart on his notebook, and she says, I love talking to you. They both say it feels like fate, so they're like really leaning into each other, right? And and they seem to really like each other. So back at the house, she's telling everybody she's so happy and so obsessed, and she feels like this is it. Shayna is not at all amused by this. She confronts him about it and is like, hello, I hear you're engaged. I heard you proposed today. And he's like, what are you talking about? And she says, are you sold on one person already? And he says, no, I want to get to know you more. He's kind of truthful with her, but then as soon as she starts talking about her outfit, he's no longer talking about Natalie anymore. And when she's talking about her outfit, he bites his notebook, and you can see the heart with somebody else's name on it. I mean, he's just kind of a douche, right? I mean, I don't know. I know the point is to get to know everybody and fall in love, but he did it so quickly and then switched on to somebody else as soon as they started being sexy with him. And so now he's going to do that stupid-ass thing that people do where they're jerks until you break up with them. So that's basically what he's pulling with Natalie. Danielle. Oh, there's my girl. Okay, so we see that she's still talking to Nick. They're only talking to each other. This is how I want to know. I want to know how this works. So they have to cycle through and talk to other people, but it sounds like if they really like each other, they can say, nah, I just want to talk to, Nick and Danielle, whatever. He gives her a ring pop, which was super cute. They talk about this bucket list of things they want to do together, like ride bikes, go to farmer's market, all that. I'm saying take a road trip with each other. Like, my husband and I get along great, but if you stick anybody in a car together long enough, you're gonna fight, right? Like, you're gonna be annoyed at the way he drives, or he's gonna be annoyed with when you tell him you have to pee 10 times, whatever it is. Like, you're gonna get annoyed with each other, right? So I say that would be a true test. Stick each other in a car for a long road trip. Let me know how that goes. We may or may not have not spoken for a couple of states before, but that's neither here nor there. So he's getting to know her, though. He talks about how she's made him so happy. He's super empathetic about things and super emotional, so he cries. He ends up giving her this notebook and says, this is the start of our journey. I want to be with you. And you guys, I was shocked. He got down on his knee and proposed to her right there. I'd like to know real time. I know it's editing. It's the first episode. They have to start out with something like this. How long did they talk to each other? So this is where I'm a big old cheese ball, and I may have teared up again. But I'm rooting for them, right? I mean, again, I'm not sure about him. I'm rooting for her. I'm rooting for him to find a nice guy, and I'm rooting for her. No, but seriously. So they seem to really like each other. She went back. She told everybody she's engaged. They all pretend like they're happy while saying, son of a bitch. And then he goes back, says the same thing. All the guys congratulate him. So they're mind blown. They're excited. So that means the next step is they will go see each other in person soon. So let's see. Then we go over to Shayne. And Shayne thinks that it's Shayna. And so he starts talking to her. Like, I was hoping you're over there. What are you wearing? Well, Natalie's like, what? What the fuck? So she is shocked and devastated. And he's like, oh, sorry. Are you good? We're good, right? I didn't mean to be a dick. I'm not a dick. Like, he starts doing this thing where he really wants Shayna. He likes Natalie. He doesn't know how to be a man and have these real conversations with her. So instead, he's going to be a dick until she breaks up with him. So she's trying to have a real conversation with him. She's trying to say, listen, I feel let on. You told me I was your number one, and now you're excited to see this other girl. Now, in fairness, he's trying to tell her, listen, of course I'm excited. He's like, basically, I'm here to date however many women, and, there's two of you that are my contenders right now. You're one of them. So I do see both sides, but where he lost me is him being a dick to her about it. She seemed to be trying to be reasonable and talk to him. He just wanted to get out of there. So he just basically says, that's it, I'm going to bounce. So Natalie comes back to the women's apartment, and she's visibly upset, and they're like, oh gosh, what's wrong? I feel for her. She could do better. She's so much more of a catch than this doofus. He takes his joggers and he says, I'm bouncing. Whatever that means. They didn't show if he actually left. I don't know. He may be done. He may not be. It doesn't matter. So then we go to Danielle and Nick, and this is how they wrap up the episode. It's so exciting. So she really likes him, and he really likes her. They say they love each other. I know that's silly, but they do. They say they love each other, that they're gonna see each other, and they're gonna give each other kisses and all this stuff, and they're engaged, but he's gonna give her the ring, all that stuff. It's the first time they're getting to see each other, and you guys, that is how the episode ends. We don't get to see it. So I am going to immediately binge watch the next episode, and I'm going to record my thoughts on that because, I thought, I'll see if I like this show or not, but I'm super into it right now, so I got to keep going. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know who we like, who we don't like. Are you watching it? Are you just watching the recaps? I just really want to know. I have a lot of opinions on this. I want to know yours. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this recap. I got so much more stuff coming out, so stick with me. Definitely check back on Sunday because Midnight Toast, I don't know what day this is going up, but Sunday I'm doing Midnight Toast with Jay where we talk about Big Trouble in Little China. It's our Kim Cattrall movie. I got Devil Wears Prada coming out. I got more Sex and the City movies. I got tons of stuff, so check back. Thank you guys so much for watching. Holy crap, I've had so many of you sign up for Patreon. Thank you for that. I so appreciate that. Every sign up really helps support the show. Saving up for a new laptop. Super excited about that. I can put out even more content without my computer going crazy. But thank you guys for everything. It all means so much to me. I hope you have a fabulous weekend, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.